Welcome to another production of Source Selection Soundbites. These productions foster learning, insight, and the ability to perform. Today's topic is about Section D, Section E, and Section F of Provision 52.212-1, Instructions to Offerors Commercial Products and Commercial Services. Today we will discuss Section D, Product Samples, Section E, Multiple Offers, and Section F, Late Submissions. Section D, Product Samples, speaks to the timeliness of submission and who bears the burden and expenses related to the submission of any product samples that the government may utilize when evaluating the quality of a vendor's offer. This is important because, more than likely, product samples must be submitted in a timely manner to ensure the government can maintain its schedule. It's also advisable to say that if discussions are conducted, the product sample may be changed and/or updated to meet government needs, but multiple alternatives may not be submitted. If the agency does decide to allow multiple updates after discussions, the product sample should be due before or at the same time as the final proposal revision. The next section of the provision pertains to the ability to submit multiple offers. If there is one section of 52.212-1 that the CO should be aware of, it is this one. The provision allows multiple submissions, each having alternative terms and conditions such as methods of delivery and timing, or to submit alternative products and services that completely differ from the agency's general product or service description. As long as it meets the agency's requirements, and this kind of solution is not prohibited, this is okay. The clause says that each submission will be evaluated separately, which could be time-consuming because there is no ceiling on the number of separate quotations that may be submitted. This section of the provision could greatly multiply the amount and type of submissions received. Given this dynamic, it may be prudent to tailor this provision directly or with solicitation language that controls the quantity and the types of solutions received. Next, we are going to talk about late submissions. As you may have guessed, there has been lots of litigation surrounding this topic. So let's get into it. Offerors are responsible for submitting offers, mods, revisions, or withdrawals on time. If no time is specified, the time is 4:30 local time. The section goes on to say, if a submission is received after the deadline, it's late and will not be considered unless it is received before award is made, does not delay acquisition, and one of the following exceptions apply. The first exception pertains to the submission of proposals sent via an authorized electronic commerce method such as email or e-buy. If proposals are submitted in this way, the submission must be in the system at least one working day prior to the date specified in the RFP in order to obtain relief. The 5 p.m. deadline with the GAO is absolute. No matter what else happens, if the 5 p.m. deadline is not met, the GAO will not likely provide relief to a protester, even if government systems are faulty. The COFC, on the other hand, does not generally see the issue as GAO does. It is more lenient when the government has some culpability. In addition, the COFC reads Sections A and B together and applies the government control exception to electronic and physical submissions. The result is that contractors are much more likely to obtain a favorable decision pertaining to electronic submissions from the COFC. Exception B, which the GAO only applies to physical proposals, can be implemented when there is acceptable evidence to establish that it was received at the government installation designated for receipt of offers and was under the government's control prior to the time set for receipt of offers. Case law has proven that contractors should arrive at the submission location with plenty of time to spare because delays are not uncommon and being on base is not sufficient to establish government control. The last exception, when only one proposal is received, is an easy one to understand because there is no competition and no one is prejudiced when the government receives it. There does not seem to be a deadline on lateness in this situation. Conceivably, an agency could receive a proposal a day or two after the deadline. The government wishes to protect the integrity of a competition, but it also seeks to benefit from updated proposals when at all possible. Therefore, the late provision does allow the government to accept a late proposal from an otherwise successful offeror in order to take advantage of a more attractive but late offer. This works out because there are no competitors left in the competition at that point. The conditions for taking advantage of the updated offer are as follows. The offeror receives the award regardless of the modification, The selection as the apparent successful offeror must be in writing, and this provision cannot be used to revive an otherwise late proposal. To wrap things up, let's review what we discussed. We discussed Section D of the provision, product samples, and the responsibilities associated with them. Second, we discussed Section E, multiple offers, and the rules related to this flexibility. And third, we discussed Section F, late proposals, and the nuances of dealing with various conditions. Thank you for watching another episode of Source Selection Soundbites. For additional information, check out some of the other videos in this series, other Productivity Partners materials, or our Source Selection Answer app that is available on the Google Play Store and Apple Store. In any event, thanks for watching, and see you next time.